up, you guys? It is Mary.
And
you guys guys like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below, y'all. Because I know we're chipper right now, but really this is not anything to be chipper about. I just remembered. But, we're just in a good mood today.
Right.
But
I was like, we look so nice in our African outfit.
I know. So we were feeling good. But this is actually something very sad, horrible.
Very good.
We actually sat down
and we're
last
doing
night.
It for a subscriber.
Several subscribers who said, yes, please talk about surviving R. Kelly. We watched part 1, part 2. Well, I think it was Surviving R. Kelly. Then it was part 2, Surviving R. Kelly, The Reckoning. And then we watched Surviving R. Kelly, The Impact. So we literally binge watched it for 2 days.
Yeah.
So there's going to be about 11 episodes of this coming out on our channel. So just get ready for it. But we're going to start with part 1 of this, which I actually watched this whole entire documentary when I was in college. Mom had not, though, and I had been wanting her to watch it.
It was something that I just really refused to watch.
Yeah.
It pains me to hear or see grown men raping little girls, because that's really what it is.
I just thought it was so odd that people kept on saying sexual relationship.
It's not a sexual relation. This is a rape. This is inappropriate. This is grossly inappropriate.
Yeah.
And these are the times that the girls are coming in, like, they're becoming adults. They're trying to figure out, who they are.
Yeah.
They're moving kind of away from their parents naturally.
Right.
As they figure out who I am.
Yeah.
And here you go and you abort that development.
Yeah.
By really non-consensual, because a little girl can't be given consent.
Well, basically, you sodomize their childhood.
That's
really,
what it is.
that's
you
what
just
you do.
Aborted their growth. So it pains me to watch stuff like that. I find it really, really gross.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am happy that I saw it, because I actually used to listen to a lot of his music.
Oh my God, when I found out the songs that we were listening to, like, was it You Are Not Alone by Michael Jackson? I used to listen to that in college whenever I was depressed.
Based on some girl who got pregnant.
And he told her to have an abortion. That's what the song was about.
And it was after the abortion that now you're talking about You Are Not Alone.
You Are Not Alone.
I thought it was a song. When I used to sing that song, I was singing as though I was like singing to God, like, like God is letting me know I'm not alone. Come to find out, it's some foolishness, some atrocity.
And then also that song I'm Your Angel with Celine Dion and R. Kelly. Oh my God.
What was that about? I'm Your Angel. Was
I'm Your Angel.
So probably he's thinking that he's the angel for you.
I don't know, but he wrote that song for Celine Dion. I used to belt that song out in the shower all the time.
All his songs, even the one I Believe I Can Fly. I'm sure that song is about him probably having an orgasm.
Oh my God! And then also that song is the remix to Ignition. And then there was another song. Can I get a toot toot? Can I get that beep beep? He going about school.
That's about the school bus. Because that's where he goes. He goes around trying to find these girls in the school.
I know, cause I don't know what song was that. Can I get a toot? Can I get a toot toot beep? I think that was Ignition. I think. But when I saw that, I was like, yeah. Because he was going by the school. He was actually picking girls up from the local McDonald's. You okay?
Right, the one that's next to the high school.
You look so done already. We just started.
Oh my God.
But
I mean, can you just imagine? Like, this guy was doing all of this stuff in plain sight. And you have these enablers.
Let's just talk about the nasty manager. No matter. Hold on, wait. Let me start with the backstory. Let's start with the backstory, okay? Because
about he
had. I think he had a total of 3 or 4 siblings. He has an older brother, Bruce.
It's 4 of them.
Yeah, he has an older brother named Bruce who's in jail. We'll talk about that later. Carrie, who is the younger brother, he has an older sister named Therese. And then there's R. Kelly. So there's 4 siblings or whatever. Right. They grew up in the projects. And, his mom actually was the lead singer in the church. So he grew up in the church. And he grew up around music. And he actually could not read or write at all. Yeah. But, God gave him a gift to actually be able to learn how to become an amazing musician without having to read or write. Yeah. Like, he would just play a beat, and through his ears or through the hearing, he'll be able to just pick it and play it and, basically play by ear or whatever and stuff. Which is why it's so sad. Because, I mean, like we were talking about the other day with that pastor, where, you know how people say that, was it? She was talking about how, oh, you should have go to the Beyonce concert or whatever, stuff like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I had said something about, the thing is, there's good and there's evil in all of us.
Yeah.
You have to choose what path you're going to take.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Feeding?
What are you feeding? Are you feeding the demons in you, or are you feeding the good in you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like, God really blessed R. Kelly with this
amazing gift.
I didn't see where the cat was going. But the thing is, he really blessed him with an amazing gift.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Really did.
And you really could have done something well with it and actually been an amazing artist without doing all this stuff. Because my thing is, yes, there are some times where, people who are abused either become, advocates, or they become like the victimizer. He became the victimizer. I don't think there's any excuse for it.
What is that?
Like, he could have chosen to actually become an advocate instead he decided to go and victimize other people through his talents and his gifts. He just abused the gift.
Exactly.
And I just thought it was really degenerate because,
used his gift to draw little girls in.
I mean, I know, and they did say in the documentary that, I think everyone knows that R. Kelly, he was, molested from ages 7 to 14. So, and also his brother Kerry was also raped as well. Molested.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, by the sister.
Yeah,
she
by
did
the
the same
sister.
thing to the youngest brother. And you know something? I have a feeling she did it to the older brother too, because he will not really talk about it at all.
Yeah.
He started.
And then he
gathered
walked away.
himself, and he didn't talk about it again.
He didn't talk about it at all, actually. So I think she did it to all of the brothers.
I think she was the eldest.
But I think because my thing is, she was also, they said she was a child as well. She wasn't much older than them.
Right.
So I actually think she was actually assaulted herself. Because you really only do what you know. And a lot of the time, kids don't know anything about that whatsoever. So I do think it's really sad that this has happened. But also,
all of them.
And there was some sick old man who was 70 years old that they called.
That lived upstairs.
Well, he was like a Pied Piper because he was giving money to like little kids and stuff or whatever.
Yeah. And would he bring like candy and stuff like that?
He'll bring candy, and then he was buying them fruits and vegetables and all that
from
stuff.
Somewhere.
And then one day he, pulled his stuff out and they ran out the house. But I think
pulled his stuff out on the 3 boys. Yeah. R. Kelly, his older brother, and his younger brother.
And they ran out. But somehow, apparently, Carrie said that Rob actually somehow that older man was molesting him still. Or whatever. I don't know how that came about.
Remember that the older brother and the younger brother were always outside playing. Right. And R. Kelly was in the house. Right. A lot. So probably the guy knocked on the door one day or something. But anyhow, he started raping Robert.
Yeah. So that was really sad. But my thing is, I just feel like innately we know what's wrong and what's right. Yeah. I felt like he had a sickness because even Carrie was talking about it, and he was saying that he felt like Rob liked it, or that he was bragging about it because
in terms of with the sister.
Yeah, because Bruce was ragging on him and saying that, well, you ain't never had no woman before or whatever, and he was like, yes, I have. And I mean, Carrie knew that it was actually the sister, so he was bragging about it or whatever and stuff. So he thought that he liked it or whatever. I think in his mind he tried to make it right in his head. Yeah. Or try to protect himself because you don't really want to say my sister is doing this. So how can I make this seem better for me?
Where I'm not the victim.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I think. I think because from the young age he was doing that. And even his music teacher said that, he never told her what he was going through, but it was coming out in the music. Yeah. Because I mean, as an artist,
it was a little like.
It was. Violent. She said it was very aggressive. It was sexually violent. Yes. And she said that it wasn't appropriate for school music. And she said it really wasn't appropriate. Period. Yeah. As an artist, I can say a lot of times we talk about our pain through our art. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not shocked that that's what he was doing. Yeah. And I mean, but I don't know if she ever sat him down and talked to him about it or whatever.
Well, the only thing she told him was just, well, one, he couldn't put those in the songs for the school.
Right.
But I don't know if she had any conversations about him. She did tell him at one point. She said it, but I don't know if he was still her student or if he had grown up by then.
He wasn't her student.
But she had told him to stay away from the girls, young girls.
No, he wasn't a student. He actually had gotten signed to Jive Records.
Oh, by then.
Yeah, because the brother said that he was very shy and he was very timid or whatever the case may be. But he said that his head literally blew up once he started to realize that he had a gift and he was talented and he got signed to Jive Records. Mm-hmm. So now he just became really cocky and all this stuff. So that's when he was coming by the high school, and apparently he would go see women, go check out little girls or whatever at the school, and he will go, but then he will call his bodyguard to go and give them his number to the little girls. And then what he would do is whenever those girls came, he would tell them, oh, why don't you bring some of your friends over so we can hang out? Yeah. Of course, them being young and naive, they don't know. They're thinking, oh, we're just hanging out, having fun with this guy or whatever. Yeah. Not knowing he is here. You kind of basically having a sex ring, having them come and having them recruit other little girls. Yeah. Which I thought was just so vile and so sick and everything and stuff like that. So I just thought that was really, really unfortunate that was happening with him. But apparently also, I think there was something else that kind of maybe was I don't want to say trigger, but you know that older guy we told you guys about that basically
the one
was
called
still
Uncle.
Yeah, that lived
the
upstairs.
The one that was raping R. Kelly when he was young. Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently one day, I guess they had told their mom or whatever. The mom found out, and she told some of the people in the neighborhood, I guess. Yeah. And they went and they beat up the
uncle.
Well, yeah, they did beat up the uncle, whatever, and beat him to a bloody pulp or whatever. The police came, and they just looked and turned their head away and let them beat the guy up. More. Yes. Yeah, for sure. But before that had even happened, I think they told their mom about what had happened. And the guy went to the mom and gave her some money. So she never pursued or had legal action to take him to jail. So he was still out to run around footloose and fancy free while she had this money. Yeah. So, for me personally...
That was an older brother who told the mom.
Yeah, it was an older brother who told the mom.
He gave her $5,000
to not show up to court, because it was supposed to go to court, but she just did not show up because he had given her the $5,000. Yeah,
which is really sad.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking.
Because certain things you should not be able to buy. Yeah. And the children are watching; they see all of that.
Yeah, and they're probably thinking that
and they just that's a part that's unforgiving, I think. My thing is, I don't think they ever really forgive you for that. I mean,
I don't think the mom knew what a huge effect that would have had on R. Kelly, because I feel like
she probably she was abused herself.
Yeah, and I think what happened, I believe that when she did that, in his mind, he probably put it back in the back of his mind. Yeah. Because he had all these little girls sign NDAs if they would ever put a lawsuit on him. He really believed that he could buy anything and buy anybody. Because
Uncle was able to buy my mom off.
Exactly. So I think that's what the issue was, for sure.
Even though she was in the church, Yeah. Someone was able to buy her integrity.
Yeah. But when R. Kelly met Aaliyah, she was 12 years old. And apparently, I think it was not his tour manager, but it was actually R. Kelly's manager. Yeah. That was, Aaliyah was his niece. I think his name is Harry something. I can't remember what his name was. Yeah. But that was his niece or whatever and stuff. Yeah. He got really close to Aaliyah somehow. They were having fun. I think he was preying on her and he was grooming her. Yeah. And this sick manager, which his name is Demetrius, he was the tour manager. I actually believe he was also having sex with little girls. Yeah. He didn't say that. Yeah. But from the way he was acting and the way he was smiling, like most of the men in this documentary...
They had something really sweet talking about R. Kelly and Aaliyah.
He said, I remember one day I was walking behind them. We were going to go get some ice cream, and they were just so silly, man. They were so sweet. Like, they were so silly. I'm like, what are you talking about? They were so silly. This man was there pressing up on her. She was a little girl. She was 12 years old, probably thinking of this man as a mentor
or a big
for
brother
her,
or
or a
something.
big brother, and you're talking about they were silly. Like, it literally looked like this fool as he smiled like a goddamn creep.
Yeah,
I think he really believed he was. Honestly, if he could, he would have said, they have such a beautiful love story. It was rape.
Yes.
There was no love story in that.
There wasn't a love story.
Like, that manager is so sick.
That girl at 12 don't even understand about love between a man and a woman and all that stuff. Because she's a girl. She's not a woman. She is so far from being a woman. She was 12.
And you know what's so crazy? Her first album was called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. R. Kelly produced the whole entire album. And the whole album was really about a young girl trying to get an older guy to go with her. Which is actually unheard of. You know why? Because young girls actually are not privy to sex. They're not privy to going and being with somebody. They're not
they don't have any inclination for it.
But that's what the Predators...
Oh, she wanted me.
Yes, she wanted me.
Yeah.
It makes them feel better about their sickness.
Right.
Oh, she wanted me. She wanted me to go there with her.
And a young girl is not
thinking about that.
The women will say, oh, this one was fast. That's what they'll call the young girl.
I mean, that's basically what Sparkle was saying about her niece.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Sparkle in the next one. Because... But I just thought... It was just blasphemous.
Yeah.
And just the manager, like, he kept on smiling. What I really could not stand in this documentary was that most of the men who were talking about it, they were smiling or trying to make light of it. All of the women had serious faces. Like, whatever woman they had on there actually had serious faces. The men were smiling.
Except for Sparkle, who had some little sickly smile every now and then. And it kind of looks almost as though she was bragging sometimes.
Yeah, honestly. But, I mean, so yeah. He was literally going to school, picking up little girls and all this stuff.
Yeah, going to high school, picking them up from there.
Apparently.
Asking them to bring friends.
Oh, yes. And also, he was caught, I think, raping Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? On the bus. Because this girl, I think her name was Genevieve or something. I can't remember what her name was. But, they didn't think or whatever that he was doing that stuff or whatever.
Having sex with Aaliyah.
Yeah.
But one day they
caught her on. Yeah. They caught them on the tour bus.
Well, his door was open.
Well, it wasn't open. They were trying to prank them. They ran into the room to prank them or whatever, and that's how they caught them or whatever. And they said the whole entire group kind of dismantled after that and everything because it just wasn't the same. Yeah. She ended up getting pregnant, and the manager actually went and helped them to get married. He forged her age.
She was 15. Forged her age to be 18.
Yes.
By that time, she was 15 years old.
Yeah.
When she got pregnant. But prior to her getting pregnant, they were on a BET show. Yeah. Where the guy was asking them, which I even had a problem with the interview, the interviewer, because he's there.
You remember the first people who did 106 in Park? I think her name was Flo, and it was somebody else.
Like, it was just crazy.
My thing is,
they're sitting there like, okay, so you guys are not boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, this is not a laughing matter.
She looks like a little girl.
I should not have to ask a 15-year-old.
Are you dating?
Man, are you all dating each other because it's against the law?
And it was so sick. And then, like, are you guys dating? And then
they're
they're also wearing matching outfits. Also wearing matching outfits and all that stuff. Like, the whole thing just seemed so stupid. And then it was just like, they were talking about how dangling a carrot or whatever. Yeah. My thing is, I had a huge issue.
The whole black community, they really took a backseat. Like, really just sat back.
I think they actually did not give a damn. Yeah. What really got to me was that when that whole entire P tape came out with R. Kelly, which really is not on this episode, but people actually went. Like, they said that the sex tape blew up. Idiots were buying child pornography. It's not a sex tape. It's child pornography. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. But people went and bought that.
It's a crime that has been videotaped. That's
so anybody who went and saw that actually should be in jail.
Sick. You just think about the sickness. Yeah, to go and buy a tape like that, knowing... And
then watching it in barbershops, laughing about it. And then Dave Chappelle making a whole comedy skit about it.
Yeah.
You know... Yeah.
So I think...
That was the first episode.
Yeah.
But we will It's Mary. Continue.
And Amma.
And we invite y'all to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below your
let
thoughts
us
on this
know.
degeneracy, man.
You know, I mean, I came to this country in 1989. I remember. I think the first time I remember about Aaliyah, the song "Let Me Know," "Let Me Know." I think that's the first song that I remember about her.
Yeah.
And then I remember she did a movie, and I don't know how old she was at those times.
Yeah.
But I remember the movie that she made with the Asian guy. And I think that was the only 2 times. I wasn't really into, when I first got here, I didn't really know all the different artists and stuff like that.
I think the only song I actually ever knew of Aaliyah was "Rock the Boat." I want you to rock the boat.
Yeah,
rock
I think
the
by
boat.
that time she probably had left R. Kelly.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think she had left R. Kelly by then, because they said that once she got pregnant, is this in this episode, the father came and took her away? But you guys comment, let us know,
Yeah.
where were you when, and then I remember, of course, when she died, the plane crash.
Yeah.
But
she
where
died
were
only
you?
7 years after all this stuff was going on.
Right. Because, the father took her away from him when she
Yeah, because
was,
they got
15.
married. He annulled the marriage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure they told her to get an abortion or something like that.
Or maybe she had a miscarriage.
Or something.
But yeah, I never
just
really
very
heard the whole
sick.
thing about her being pregnant. I don't remember hearing about that at all. So that was surprising to me when I heard it on this. But let us know, where were you when this whole Aaliyah thing, and what did you think about it at that time?
I mean, because obviously
because of
people were
course
now more aware and all this
Of
stuff,
all that,
you know.
with Me Too movement, with probably as we get older, we've been through things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So where were you? What did you think about it then when it was happening?
And what do you think about it now?
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all.
Let us know.